What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to do a quick video kind of showcasing a new backpack that I got and a shout out. So stay tuned and we'll go over it real quick. All right. I was planning on getting out today. I'm hoping to get out tomorrow, and that seems a little iffy, so it might not be until Friday or the weekend. So I wanted to get some content out there, and I was really anxious to get this to you guys. I was able to get my hands on a great backpack, and the story behind that is awesome. There's a gentleman, I met him through the YouTube community, and he messaged me on one of my last videos and was talking about a pack that he had that he just wanted to find a home for. And I was absolutely amazed by his generosity. His name's Dave. His channel is Montana Woods Runner. It's MT Woods Runner. He's here in Montana too. I was able to drive probably, it was a couple hours, and we met. I'm not sure exactly where he drove from. And we were able to meet each other, and we discussed some things, and we're hoping maybe in the future to collaborate a little bit or go on some adventures. I'm sure I'll be able to get some great footage of that. But long story short is he had a great backpack, and it was fantastic timing because I was looking at the pack that I've been running, which is this Contact Matilda Pack, and I love this pack. I love this pack. It's basically, you know, a modern version of an Alice pack with your 3 main pockets and your 1 main container. And, you know, the pack's been great, but now I'm getting into the winter season where all your gear becomes bigger and heavier. It's inevitable. Your clothing is bigger. You're adding possibly snowshoes and poles. You're adding larger sleep systems. Your calorie intake's more in the cold, so you're adding more food. And I was looking at this pack and I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna really be stuffing this to the gills. I'm gonna have things hanging all over it. And so I'd already been thinking about a larger pack, and he offered me for free, which that kind of stuff really blows my mind. It's awesome to see people in this community. I see it a lot, but I think it's a Montana thing too. Just very generous and helpful. And so this is the 8-pocket, the London Bridge 8-pocket ruck. He had the pack. It rides on an Alice frame. Another great part of this story is that, you know, he said, I've got the pack, you just got to grab yourself an Alice frame. So I'm like, excellent. You know, it used to be all this military surplus stuff was everywhere, and you could just run down to the Army Navy store, or you could, you know, whatever. I went online and they're going from anywhere from 40 to 60 bucks for an Alice frame. So I put that in the back of my head, and I did some looking around local pawn shops, and, you know, nothing here in the town that I live in. When I went to go meet Dave, I stopped into a pawn shop, and they had an Alice frame with an Alice pack. That's what's hanging here. And I ended up walking out of there with some finagling. It wasn't the price on the tag for $10. So when things like that happen, I started to think, you know, the man upstairs, and I believe, you know, if things are going smooth, and then that's, you know, where you're supposed to be. So, you know, everything just worked out excellent. What a genuine guy Dave is. You know what I mean? Like, he's somebody that I know I can learn from. He's been out here in Montana. He's originally from Maine, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. But he's been out here in Montana for basically the amount of time I've been alive. He said 37 years. I'm 37 years old. So he's a Montanan, you know. But, you know, long story short, what an excellent guy. Check out his channel. He's done some amazing things. He's got a series where he hit 40 different peaks, mountain peaks, hiked them. Here in Montana, I believe some of them might have been in Wyoming. But right here regionally, 40 different peaks that he's hiked. Just his demeanor, he's just a genuine guy. And so I'm looking forward to doing some adventures with him, hopefully some big canoe trips, some winter camping, whatever we get into. I'm looking forward to picking his brain on some things, or just, I'm very observant. I want to learn all I can. I know some things, but I'm always willing to learn. So long story short, we're gonna go over the backpack. I'll lift it here. It's a monster. Like right now, I've got some of my stuff in it. I've actually have the intermediate bag from Military Sleep System in this bag already. So, boom! Look at this thing. It's on the Alice frame. I've got the lumbar pad and your straps, and we'll go over this thing and we'll talk about the benefits. I haven't come up with any cons yet, except for I'm going to end up putting so much stuff in this, it's going to be heavy, but I overpack all my packs. I go big anyway. I'm getting better at it, but I usually overpack. So stick with me and we'll go over this pack real quick, and then, yeah. Alright, I guess before we get started, I'll introduce you to Bud. He's half lab, half beagle. We rescued him from the pound. He's 4 years old, and he's a cool dude. We're still getting used to each other, and he wanted to get in the middle of this video. I just had to do a retake, but he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's 4 years old, half lab, half beagle. He walks well. When I walk him, he's learning, but he walks well. He doesn't bark. Really looking forward to taking him on some adventures, but we'll see. But he is a good boy. Alright, go. He doesn't want to go now. You gonna go? You're just gonna do that? Yes. Yes. He's my pal. Alright, go. Go. Skeet out, bud. So what we have here is we have a London Bridge 8-pocket ruck. If you go on websites you look for it, they call it a light ruck. It's got your 3 bottom pockets just like an Alice pack, but it's got an additional 3 more of those same large pockets right on the front. This is really heavy duty Cordura nylon, or the Cordura. Treated, would call it, really water resistant. Cinch tops on each one of these bags. It's very similar to the Matilda. The cinch tops, buckles, all heavy duty. This is a mil-spec bag. I'm not sure the exact liters on this thing. I probably should have got that information for you, but I can tell you it's the largest bag that I own, and it's more than enough space that I'll ever need. So again, the 8-pocket London Bridge 8-pocket ruck. You have a flip over top with a Claymore pouch is what it would be called, but a nice, easy access top pouch. That's also treated. Also from the top, if you zip this, you can have access to your inner bag without having to unbuckle and unstrap anything you got going on in the front. So if you got something on the top of that thing, say your raincoat is right there in the top, you have a good spot for it, and you want to drop your pack and you don't want to unbuckle everything, you can just zip that and get right into your main compartment. It also has a bottom access right here, and inside the main compartment there's a divider. You can open or close it. And what Dave said he was doing was using it for his sleeping bag. Yes, the sleeping bag. So what I did is I have the intermediate sleep system bag in here. It's a 0-degree military issue sleeping bag. So I've got that already in here. So that already eliminated me having, the big old roll on the bottom with my big sleep system right there. And that leaves me room with these MOLLE attachments on the bottom if I want to roll my wool blanket roll on there, or if I'm carrying my poles. I haven't quite figured out my exact loadout because I'm going to be carrying my foldable snow shovel, most likely my snowshoes and poles, an axe, a full-size saw. When I go out, I go out. Now this pack, like I said, I started putting my kit in it. I'm still trying to figure out, when it comes to these pockets, I'm going to be running it basically the same way I run my Matilda, because these are all set up the same. So for me, I could, with my eyes closed, get into my pack and know what part of my kit I'm pulling. But I have all these extra pockets. this extra room that leaves my main compartment for my bulk now. I used to have to put my camp kit, my kitchen kit in my main compartment. Now I can put it in its own pocket, which leaves this top for my layers, my different layers for winter. Like I've got some heavier winter gloves. This is the insulation layer to my Gore-Tex winter pants. So, you know, I'll go out with just my pants that I usually wear with a small, you know, long johns underneath. But if it gets real cold, or maybe even going to sleep, I can throw on the insulation. I can throw on my Gore-Tex liners. But this is just a huge pack, you know, with plenty of room. There's a small sleeve in the back here with another pocket, so if you needed to isolate anything, and this thing's lined, this small pocket in the backside. Maybe your food, or if you had some wet clothing you wanted to stuff in here but you didn't want to get everything else gross, you can go ahead and do that. The pack itself, like I said, is mil-spec built. This thing is tough, and I'm going to have plenty of room. Another thing that I really do like about it is, just like the Matilda, behind each pocket is pass-through. But all of them are pass-through. So when it comes to putting my axe and stuff like that onto this pack, let me show you that. You know, you can pass your axe right through the back side of these pockets. So there's the first pocket. There's the second pocket. So your axe will pass right through the pockets, and there you go, man. Or any kind of, maybe my poles, my trekking poles. If I just pull the baskets off, I can slide my trekking poles through there too, and that's less things dangling. And I really, I'm not a big fan of big danglers. So it's got the pass-through pockets. And like I was talking about the Alice frame. So that's, I mean, it's got plenty of MOLLE attachments. I mean, it's not as old as like the original Alice pack. So it's got all the MOLLEs on it. You got plenty of attachment points. Plenty of places to rig things up. And what's nice, I've been walking around the house, you know, with a load out in it, just feeling it out. And the Matilda just has a stiff back panel. There's no frame. And carrying a heavier load, and with this big lumbar support here, I don't know what you can see because of the light, but this big lumbar support here, and these nice padded straps, and with the frame, feels really good. So I think the increased weight is not going to be an issue with me because I'm getting better support. I'm used to a heavy pack, like I said. I overpack anyway, a couple times out in the field, and I get right into it. So it straps right onto an Alice frame. If you're not familiar with what an Alice frame is, probably right after NOM into 80s or 90s, I'd have to double check, was the standard frame and backpack for like an infantry loadout or whatever. Great frame, great pack, great guy. All in all, I'm really excited. I want to cut this short. You'll see this thing in action throughout the whole entire winter. So if I missed anything, if it seemed kind of short and dry and you didn't get a look at it as much as you'd like to, just keep an eye on all my videos throughout the winter, because you're going to see me packing this thing in and out, unloading and loading it. When I get my kit fully put into this thing and set to where I want it and say, yes, this is my winter kit, I'll do a, what do you want to call that? Unstuffing. And I'll show you everything that I got in it. I wanted to get this out as soon as possible. And with that said, you know, again, I really want to thank Dave. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description. Excellent guy. Interesting channel. I mean, the adventures are absolutely fantastic. He's older than me by a little bit, and he would run circles around me. I know that if you know, we get a chance to go on some adventures together, I'm going to be keeping up with. I'm going to have to try to keep up with him. I'm going to have to get in shape. So, 8-pocket London Bridge ruck. London Bridge is the company. London Bridge 8-pocket ruck. I'm looking forward to using it. It's absolutely perfect. And like I said, when things start to, at least this is what I believe, is when things start to fall in line for you, and things work out. Like the pack was offered after I'd already been contemplating what I'm going to do for a larger pack, and then I needed the frame, and then I was able to get the frame at just right there, right then, at just an astounding price. When all those things start to flow in line for me, I'm encouraged because I feel like, you know, those things were meant to be. If you're grinding against the wheel the whole time and chafing yourself and just struggling and it's like swimming upstream and blah blah blah, I tend to stop and say, okay, I gotta recheck either my motives or my, you know, my approach, because if I'm fighting it the whole time, it's not jiving, then I need to stop and take a look at, like I said, either my motives or my approach. But when things are smooth, you know what I mean, and they're falling in line, and this is working out, and then the next step's working out, and these are working out, and this is just a small example, but it's something that I try to look at in life in general, then I'm encouraged. You know, I'm like, all right, well, then I'm heading down that right path. So the whole thing just worked out smooth. Thanks again, Dave, man. I can't thank you enough. I'm looking forward to getting out and getting out in the backcountry with you. I know you've been in Montana a lot longer than I have. With a little bit of time I've been here, I'm in love with Montana, and we've got a lot to explore when it comes to area. So, all right, that's it. Hope this video came out okay. I'm gonna do what I can in post for the lighting, and hopefully be up at the site finishing some construction. I don't think I'll be able to finish it in one day on the winter base camp. So. Thanks for watching. God bless everybody. Have a great day. Come here. Come here. And come on. Hopefully you guys will be able to see Bud on some adventures soon. I don't think I'm going to take him out crispy in the sub-zero temperatures quite yet. But he's a good boy. Yeah, he is. So, look at that right there. Hey, Bud. What's the camera? He doesn't care. He doesn't care about the camera. But he's a good dog. Pretty chill. All right. Thanks. God bless.